Hey guys, so you may be wondering what exactly this video is. Well, I like to tell you. So, on earlier last month, I was part of a charity marathon with a bunch of guests and such. So this section, this video is actually a portion of a segment in which I was the co-host of a stream with the person you may see in this video, person you'll see in this video, Good Mutual Pix.exe. In this video, I and Pix will be discussing this was discussing the environment of Palestine, sharing a bunch of facts and such, and base facts about like the geography and such and beyond that is not exclusive to that of genocide, but of general climate change as a whole. Basically, it's a topic that I don't think is covered a lot in these sphere. I don't think covered a lot when we're talking about Palestine as a whole, although maybe although not as often as the import is the tragedies in place. So I thought it'd be a good idea to share some facts about this and just go on a general like research trip about this sort of stuff. Now, this was in support of the PCRF, with which the Palestine Children's Relief Fund. The charity, the specific fundraisers that has recently ended. However, I will link to the charity in the description below, as well as a bunch of other charities and a bunch of other GoFundMe's, and a GoFundMe that I will link down below, in case you want to help out by a simple donation. There's also but I will also attach the fact sheet that I have made originally for this stream. And if you ever need to and I allowed the ability to comment on such if there's any topics that I'm missing, and I will do so and I will do so as soon as possible. It's kind of a living document as such. And I also thought it would be necessary to keep this preserved because I think it is very vital information for you to know about. Anyway, I hope you enjoy. This was a wonderful experience to be a part of, so I hope you enjoy. Thank you.
I think we got it. Hello, hello.
Hello?
Okay,
Hello?
great. Let
Do
me
you
go.
hear me?
Yes, and now heads whoop. Now Twitch can hear you too. Hello. Welcome in,
Okay,
Aardvark.
hey.
Thank you so
Hello
much for making
there.
time today to join us today. Let me also see if I can get you up
No
on
problem.
screen. Ba-ba-ba-ba. Reactive. There we go.
No problem. Okay. Oh, where's where it can, I'll solve the puzzle. I'll solve, do you know where?
Oh, here. Let me quickly do this. Ba-ba-ba. Hey, there you are. Welcome, buddy.
Hi.
Ah, look at that.
Oh. Do you know where I can solve the puzzle?
Yeah, here we go. Let's have an exclamation point puzzle. Puzzle, and boop, it'll pop us up over here. Let me see if I can also just shrink the screen a bit, so that way people can see what we're solving. Actually, let's see if I can move over to this place instead. This might be better. I go over here. Ah, there we go. Nice, look at that.
Okay. Hi. It's me.
Hello!
Hello there. Hello. Okay.
Hello!
Hope you are well. So, the reason today's excuse me, I'm a little sorry. I am a bit rusty. It just get it, but you know what? Okay. So,
No, don't worry, but it's just me. I'm the same way. I feel that. You are good.
okay.
Let me just set up some things. Let's move you this one out of the way, because then we got two of you. There we go. Oh. Alright, let me flip you horizontally so you're looking this way. Actually, I'll swap with you. Here, you go over here on the left. I'll go over here on the right. I can find. There we go. Boop-a-doop-a-doop. And then go over here. Just in bookkeeping. Copy. And I'll paste the. There we go. Big old puzzle.
Alright.
Nice.
I cannot. I can't really see the puzzle, but you know what? Let me try. I'll try.
No, do what you gotta. Take your time.
That's really weird. Let me. Okay, that's better. Okay, so the reason why I wanted to, well, okay, so it's been something that kind of. Okay. So today's topic. Well, I guess topic, but some just context as to what we're doing here. So the context of today is about. Okay. So So there's okay.
You got this. Don't worry.
So we are raising money for the Palestine Children's Relief Fund, and part of that is that is an important part of children. An important part of the children of Palestine is their home of Palestine. Now we say we did it to the people, but it's what's important that contributes to the well-being of people is their environment. Their environment. Well, you could say it's pretty much under destruction. It's pretty much, but I'm going to give you, because I researched this for I want to say the past few days. So the past few days, I looked into what is the Okay, so first of all, to establish where is Palestine located? Palestine.
That's a great start.
Palestine is. Let me pick up my notes. I tend to forget.
Oh yeah, guys. As a heads up, Aardvark here has done an excellent job collecting a lot of notes because we really wanted to talk about. While we're solving puzzles, be able to talk about the environment of Palestine, because there's a lot of stuff and features. I feel like a lot of the news about Palestine gets very muddled and bogged down by a lot of the travesties and war. And I feel like it'd be really nice and really hopeful to talk about all the environment and the lovely scenery and what it enriches and all the culture that comes with it. And Aardvark has done an excellent job pulling up facts and like information. And I was hoping that you and I and all of us here can kind of learn a bit while we make puzzles. It can be a bit of a learning stream, a bit of a fun stream, and we can just enjoy today together. So please go ahead. Sorry for interrupting.
Okay, so the region Palestine is also known as the state of Palestine. It is we're talking about the general geography. The geography is located in the Southwest Asian region, which is it's in the East Mediterranean region. So there technically are two regions that comprise Palestine: the West Bank and the Gaza Strip. The Gaza Strip is mainly a lot of the news focused, but it's just to consider that there are two regions that consist.
Ta-da! Now, a lovely map for us to see as well. There we go.
Okay, so the West Bank, as you probably tell from the map, it borders Israel in the north, south, and east regions, while bordering Jordan to the west. And it's important to note that there is the Dead Sea located in the southwest region of the of this. Now the Gaza Gaza, known as the Gaza Strip, it borders Israel to the north and east regions and Egypt to the southwest region. So, as you could probably tell, there is a region that is land. You can tell that there are several kind of that there's a region that is landlocked, and I'll get to that later. The West Bank is kind of landlocked between these two aforementioned countries, the majority of which is land, about 5,640 square kilometers. Now, the West Bank is generally mountainous, and it's kind of rugged, dissected upland, with the flat plain descending to the Jordan River Valley in the east section, to the east. So, uh, you can feel free to
1 second,
input
let me
anything.
quickly. Oh yeah, let me quickly so I can actually pull up so we can have both the map and also the fundamental puzzle on the side so people can see everyone's progress. Let me see if I can try and capture both. Is it working? I don't think so. Oh. So I'm having a bit of trouble trying to do both. 1 second, please. Oh. Because here we go. We can get. I know I have this. You know, I think I might just. You know what? In that case, I'm gonna just window capture this right here. And then just have images. There we go. Yeah, I'll do that instead. That makes more sense. Oh, what the? Ah! There we go.
Let's see if there's like a bottom piece. I have to see. Maybe there's a bottom piece.
Yeah. There we go. Much better. Oh. There we go. Boom, boom. There we go. Much better. Then go over here. Da 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 da. And then I can just do a fun. There we go. I'll do images here. Ta-da! That works out really well. Slash image.
So
Image
necessary. Now, there's actually. I'll get into this a little later, but there are 4 biogeographical regions. Obviously, we include the Mediterranean, the Irano-Turanian, the Sahara-Arabian, and the Sudanese regions.
Yeah.
I didn't find so much information about each of these separate regions, but I assume that that's what, in terms of the plant, which the flora of Palestine, which I'll get into a little bit later. I didn't find so much information about that, but I was able to find some. Okay, maybe not
That's pretty cool.
about separate plants, a little more about agriculture, which, okay.
There we go.
I'm gonna
Got the
go
map. Here we go.
over.
Now we can look at both.
I'll go over
There we go.
kind of from like north to south. So I'm gonna start with the West Bank. Now the West Bank, it is so obviously it's kind of landlocked as you see here between like the two countries there. So there is not much water within that region not outside of the Dead Sea, which so these mountains consist of limestone hills, which is known as the Sumerian Hills in the north of Jerusalem, and in the Judean Hills in the south of Jerusalem. So,
Oh really?
with the average height of each mountain being 700 to 900 meters, or 2,300 to 3,000 feet. So it is mainly in elevated areas, with around like 75 to 90 meters above the sea level, which give rise to like the headwater of the Mediterranean Sea. But however, it does not lie within the drainage of the Jordan River. Then I'll go. So yeah, so it's kind of mountainous, and I'll say this out front, like most of the area is arid. Arid to dry. Majority of it is arid to dry, but so there's not a lot of rainfall. Well, I say there's not. I guess there isn't a lot of rainfall down. There isn't a lot of rainfall down south, but the further north you go, the opposite is true. So the Jordan Valley only exhibits has 100 to 200 millimeters of rainfall per year, while the semi-coastal area is just kind of it's 400 to 700. The largest one is in the Central Highlands, with around 1,000 millimeters per year, or 1 meter of rainfall per year, if that gets conversion. So there's actually 3 separate regions as you go. So the Tulkam the Tocam is the largest one, so as the 667 millimeters. Well, Jericho only has about 201 millimeters. But
Actually,
like, uh,
Aardvark, do you mind if I pause real quick? I'm so sorry for interrupting. Because we had a
yes,
very interesting question from Chad that I figured it was important to kind of mention. So,
yes, what is it?
Prismatic Pixie was wondering where was Palestine on this map, which is a very great question to ask. So, let me bring up the second picture. Hopefully, they can illustrate because this is real history and it's really important. I mean, it is a fact of life that this is the current situation, but people might not realize that this is what is. Here we go. Ta-da! So over time, for a bit of history and context, apologies again for the interruption. A lot of history began at 1948 when this I believe it was called Israeli independence came through, and they essentially declared their independence by occupying the area. In 1946, 2 years before the war, Palestine pretty much was this entire area of green. However, the UN plan in 47 suggested that maybe to prevent any sort of issues that they would section off. It's actually a plan that they would do a lot. You would see this in India with how they partitioned Pakistan and Bangladesh. I believe I could be wrong. The way they kind of like essentially split up a country based on ethnic backgrounds, and this was the plan they did. But then in 1948, the war occurred. And
just
sorry,
to
go ahead,
clarify.
please.
Sorry,
Please.
just to clarify. So Pakistan was
Of course.
originally known as East Pakistan. Before there was an independence, or like 19, I want to say 71, that it was fully established as Bangladesh. But before then, it was established as East Pakistan.
Thank you. Because I'm not very familiar with Indian politics and history. It's actually funny too because me and my friend we each did a book report on our backgrounds. Me as Palestinian, I did one on Palestine. My friend who is of Indian background did one of India, Bangladesh, and Pakistan. And we both agreed that our papers ended with, "Man, why did the British do this?" And that was it. It's kind of just the British trying to fix problems by just moving people. But yeah, in 1948, the war occurred, and that's when Israel celebrates their foundation of the country. And as you can see, over time, a lot of Palestinian territories have become far and fewer in between. And a lot of people, like I have a lot of relatives, for example, who have other relatives within like a couple miles. But unfortunately, due to a lot of the blockades, because of the occupation, unfortunately, they don't really meet each other because it's quite difficult for them to be able to leave their section of the land. So well, here in America, I'm really blessed. I can go visit my folks for Thanksgiving. It'll take a couple hours, maybe half a day of driving. Unfortunately, for a lot of my relatives, they don't really have that opportunity. But you make do. You really make do. Sorry, go ahead. No, please go ahead. Thank you so much, Aardvark, for the clarification, though.
No, I appreciate that the actual input. So, because I mean, so and because a lot of this mountainous region is like very spread out, there's well, it's that there is life around there, but it's definitely I'll get into this a little bit. So, that it's mainly that around like the annual temperature in. So, like basically, when it comes around that area is like there is people who live there, but there is not an extensive amount of like civilization there, because a lot of the, at least not as we know. So mainly a lot of it is more centered around the Gaza Strip. Well, I'll get to now. So the Gaza Strip, unlike the West Bank, is actually near a coastline,
Yep.
known as obviously known as the coastal plain here.
Hmm? Oh,
It's
actually,
basically
let's zoom in for you. Yep. The
like a
Gaza
flat
Strip.
to rolling. It's like a sand and dune covered like land there. So similar to Israel. It
It's
does
quite small, but yeah.
now. There is There is a little, not a. There is a little more compared to the West Bank, at least somewhat. Rainfall with around like maximum of 200 to 400 millimeters per year. The North, the Beit Laia. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. Please feel free to
Oh,
correct me if that's okay.
well, sorry, I'm actually trying to pull up a picture of Gaza pre-war, just to have so we can have a fun little image. But what was the question? Once more, what was what pronounced?
Beit Laia. Is that how you say it? I may be wrong.
Let me see. Bet Laia. Let me see. I don't
Yes.
know that place. How do you spell that in English?
BEIT and then LAHIYA. LAH.
Oh, actually, let me see how it's pronounced. Spelled here. Bet Lahia. Bet Lahia.
Beit Laia.
Bet mean Bet is like it just means the word house. So you'll see this in cities like Bethlehem or like Bethlehem, which just means Bet house, Lahem of meat, the house of meat. That's what it means. So I guess Lahia or Lahia, let's see, is yeah. I don't know what Lahia means, but let's see. City's known for let me Google it. Means what? Because my Arabic is quite not that great. Distantly it means, I guess. Oh,
I'm trying to.
I'm not too familiar with that. But yeah.
I'm trying to zoom in to the.
Yep.
I'm trying to zoom into like the puzzle, but I keep getting so far off the center.
I'm so sorry. Let's see, where was the picture I just downloaded? It's a WebP, it should be fine. There it is.
Trying to see.
Ta-da! Pre-war Gaza. Ta-da!
Let me join it again. I have to join.
What do you think? Ta-da! Yeah, because it's a regular city. So I feel like a lot of times we can get really over inundated with like photographs of war and tragedy. So it's nice to kind of every so often realize that, you know. Yeah. Bet Lahia is north of Jabalia and is a dune zone according to the. Nice, thank you so much.
Okay. Okay. Second. See if I can. Okay. So when it comes, yeah, I don't really realize my research is not as in depth as I said I thought it would. But like, okay, I'm gonna go with okay. So when it comes, I'll talk a little bit about. Okay, so in addition that there is livestock within the region, but there's also animal wildlife as well. What? Okay, so so when it actually I'll discuss the climate. So yeah, when it comes to this region, it seems that it is a very mild Mediterranean climate with a lot of arid regions. So it's pretty. It's there's a lot of high humidity within that region, both hot and dry in the summer and very mild winters. So it's not as deep. It's not as usually. It's not as cold as it's not as cold as it is, say, like here in like New England or something. Yeah, you get very excessively cold winters, but here it's very much mild. Although it is very subject, much like a lot of other countries, to around like temperatures, very increasing temperatures. So with them, around like 1.5 degrees Celsius increase. That depends. I was looking at a report, and a lot of it, if you include like high emissions, this increases to around like of hot days to reach around like more per year, around 60%. So, indeed, because of these temperature changes, these increase in temperature, it will create a greater contrast within the region. So cold temperatures will decrease. Well, actually, no. Cold temperatures would rather like decrease, as in there will be less cold over time in the winter, and like high temperatures will become even greater than it was before, which which is which is not great if you're trying to like say like yield crops or like live within this region. It's because it leads to a
Mm-hmm.
lot of droughts and flash floods as well. So, which isn't a great thing if you're like obviously flash flooding is kind of necessarily a negative thing when it comes to like every degraded contrast rather than normal rain here. So, and because and this leads to it obviously this leads to sea levels increasing as well. But and the reason why I bring these up is because yeah, you'll probably say, oh, that's where everywhere is going. That's where like everywhere like sea levels are rising, temperatures are rising, and it's very yes. That's the point is like our country, like every country around the world, we are subject to climate change. I
Yep. It's
because
kind of
I
it's,
yes,
we're all
and
in this
even
together.
like
Yeah.
it's very easy to say that like it's very easy to say that like oh it's just like a tragedy, but we could like in a vacuum, but it's easy to look at as a tragedy. But let me just show that it's a legitimate region that suffers from climate change just like the rest of us. So they're probably facing it a little worse than they're definitely facing it as bad as we do, if not a little worse. And
Yep.
and this comes to, but despite that, over the ship animals. There's animals within. Oh, beyond the livestock, which is a different case. It goes into the agriculture, but the animal wildlife. So despite this geography, despite like being in despite like these regions being arid and actually kind of differing, there's few still differences as you go like north and south. There's actually quite a unique. The surprising thing, there's actually to be a sort of larger biological diversity. There's around
Oh.
130 species of mammals. For, this includes now. I was able to find on the site and on the site here. Let me that okay. So this site was kind of like a very surprising site that I find from the Palestine Institute for Biodiversity Sustainability of Bethlehem University. So
Oh snap!
there's
That's really cool.
yeah, I was able to. I was like, I was surprised that I was able to find a little more information, but there's some pictures on the site about like there's it shows here like there's a desert hedgehog. There's even a striped hyena, which is I
Oh
showed the
what?
cutest picture.
I don't know they're
Yeah,
hyenas. That's really cool.
you,
Let me see if I can pull up a picture for y'all.
it does make sense within because we know we're in the desert region. So I guess it does make a little sense, especially I guess considering the Sahara region or something like I mentioned that there is a Sahara region is somewhere like a biogeographical region, so it
Yeah.
does make a little bit. It does make sense. So, uh, there's a Cape Hyrax, which I'm not exactly sure.
There we go.
Uh, but there's also birds. A lot of birds. Witnessing around 500 million birds, around 20% of which live within this region. There's one despite called the Starling bird. Some so so the interesting thing that there's a lot of birds that migrate into that region because they arrive like around the late September region. Well, actually, they arrive in late September. So they often like spend the winter in here after like migrating from Europe. So like when it comes to like migratory birds.
Haha.
So
Hyena.
they kind of like late September they settle, and then go leave like when it comes to like even the warmer weather. So there's also 91 reptile species, including 9 freshwater, marine, and land tortoises.
Wait, land tortoise? Actually that makes sense. I was like, there's tortoises.
Yeah.
Like, actually, that's fair. There's turtles everywhere.
Yeah.
That's fair. I
Yeah.
don't know why I'm surprised.
There's also I'm sorry if people are afraid of snakes. I'm so sorry. There are 40 snakes. I'm sorry about that. It's understandable if people are afraid of snakes. I get it. I'm not
These are
necessarily
happy snakes. These are happy
but-
snakes. It's very different than the scary snakes across the world, of
Nice.
course. Yep.
42 lizards. There's also 42 lizards too. So
Lizards.
it says there's 8 species of amphibians. Yeah, I wish I looked more into like each different like individual like species within this area, but
If you want to, I can
invertebrates.
pause right now. I can Google them right now if you want, and we can get a quick one.
Yeah, sure.
Lizards and sure, just 2 seconds. Lizards in Palestine. I'm sure someone did a Palestine checklist. iNaturalist.org. Thank you so much. I love these .org websites. Well, you know what? I'm just gonna copy paste this, and we can just quickly supplant this with this, and we can look on street. Oh, look at that! We got the Syrian spadefoot if you like frogs. Oh my god. We got the Gunther's cylindrical skink. Sorry, there will be snakes on screen, so this isn't your thing. Please, you might want to look away. But we got the marsh frog, the Latast snake skink. Oh wait, these aren't snakes, these are skinks. Oh, they got little arms. They got little armsies. Oh, the little lizards. Oh. The wedge snout skink. Schneider skink, bridal skink, Ruppels, snake-eyed skink, Savigny's agama, the North Arabian plain agama, desert monitors, ooh, the Sinai agama, the Egyptian rock agama, common chameleons, Beersheba, Beersheba, oh geez, okay, a French-fingered lizard, snake-eyed lizard, oh these are all good boys, look at this. Kochki's gecko, Eastern Mediterranean thin-toed gecko. I'm definitely posting this. You know, I'll post this for everyone to check out because this is really freaking cool. I did not know this was a thing. Yeah, y'all can check it out on your own time as well.
The Mediterranean house gecko. That's a.
All right. I love that. Yeah, thin-toed gecko. Yep. House geckos. Israeli mole, viper. Nice. Oh, that's so sick. Look at that. Sleek. Israeli worm snake.
What?
What's a worm snake? Is it a worm or a snake? What the heck? Oh,
I think it's because it's like we call it a worm snake. Is because it's like necessarily
it's a
has.
snake. Oh. Go ahead, please.
It's probably because of that like. Maybe the appearance, and probably because of like the body structure of it, like. Because it was like similar to like that of a worm than that of an actual snake. Well, maybe because it's small enough. And it technically kind of wriggles.
Here's the taxonomy. It's under chordate, vertebrates, reptiles, snakes, lizard snakes. It's not a worm at all. It's under snakes, blind snakes, typically blind snakes, which puts it in the subfamily Afrotyphlopinae, genus Lithophobia. Lithophobia. So yeah, this is a snake that looks like a worm! You're right! Oh my god, that's adorable. It's so pink. Oh, there's 80 pages of this. There's also birds and finches? Guys, we'll be here all frickin'... Oh god, humans! Guys, we got humans in Palestine. Porcupine! So I'm gonna keep... guys, feel free to go through all 80 pages to look at all these adorable animals, but please go ahead.
I mean, we are a species after all. Are those gerbils? Hold on. Those are gerbils, right? Hold on, I just...
House mouse, yeah. Gunther's vole, gray dwarf hamster.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, field mouse. Yeah!
Like a tournament.
Fat.
Bowl.
This man was on some next level stuff. He called it the fat sand rat. What are you? Fat. What are you from? Sand. What are you? Rat. There we go.
Oh, he's a chunky boy. Oh, he's so chunky. I love
He's not even that chunky. That's the best part. They're just being mean. There are chunkier mice out there. Look how happy this guy is. He's like, nah, man. I can tell you.
He's not like
Fat.
portly. Oh, he's just portly.
Exactly. He's just a little portly. He's just a little portly.
Oh, he's so portly.
Aww, seasonality. Aww. Man, this is my new favorite website. All right, no, please, now please go back and continue. That was a fun detour.
I had to close my curtain slightly so I could see the puzzle. I could see a little bit.
No, you're fine.
So, where was it? So, what was I talking about? Okay. So, I think they found something about, okay. On the site also includes like a bunch of invertebrates, or I guess there's plenty of like insects there. There's a, okay. I need to look more that there's like butterflies in there, but I'm not sure what the butterflies look like. I only saw this a butterfly, and this is preserved in the garden of that site that I mentioned. There's also dragonflies. There are spiders, which yes, there are spiders, and I'm sorry if that really.
Yep.
I'm just referring to the facts of the site. I apologize. I know spiders, they look scary, but it's fine. Butterflies. Oh god. Okay. We gotta look up, like, there's definitely palace butterflies in this, cause you know what? Look up, if you have time, please, look up butterflies in Palestine, cause I'm pretty. There's got to be some beautiful ones there.
All right, butterflies. So look into it. Also, apparently from Prismatic Pixie, someone asked me to. They asked me to see if I can do turn toggle. So here, y'all get the full pic showcase because someone asked for it. We got thinking, crying, laughing, angry, exhausted, blushy, surprised, drawing, teaching, and whenever I want to take it off. It's pretty cool. I can take out my glasses too. Anyways, there you go. There you're welcome. Hope that helps. But let's go over here to butterflies. I don't know if I can find it within here though. Taxonomy. Oh, here we go. I can click here. Mollusks, plants. Bisco 64. Welcome in. This one cool model. Thank you. Amphibians, arachnids. I don't know where it would be. I'm sure bugs get. Oh, here we go. Bugs. Oh, there's so many. There's 1,000 bugs. Observed? Yes, sure. Establishment means filter. Also, thank you for the sub. Thank you so much. Enjoy the emotes. Enjoy your ad viewing. Here we go. Let's see if this works. Taxonomical photo. Ta-da! Here are all the ones in Palestine and Israel. Here we go. Wood leopard moth, a European vine moth, cotton tip worm. Apologies again if this is not your jam, if bugs aren't your thing. We'll be back in a few. But which one specifically were you looking for? Butterflies?
I mean, yeah, moths are pretty cool too. I mean, I'm not an insect hater. I'm really like.
Lesser spotted fritillary, the southern white admiral, the desert fritillary. Oh my god, look at that beauty!
Oh, that's so cool.
Oh
I
my
mean,
god.
I am very partial to orange as a color, but like that orange and white
Me
combo.
too.
Oh, that looks
I
so
know,
cool.
right? It's actually. Let me open up in a different one.
I don't know. The bee looked at me, but it looked at this.
Few
But
more.
yeah, desert. Oh, that's so cool. That is beautiful. Look
That's
at
gorgeous.
there's something. No, it's very striking. That's like,
yes, I know, right?
like it really, and that's
Oh,
like
here we
it
go.
really like pops out. It like it's Just kind of.
Oh, that is lovely. Thank you, Aardvark. This is exceedingly pleasant. This is such a great way to start my afternoon. We're just looking up just like cute animals and
You're
bugs,
welcome.
and just to see that Palestine isn't just the people, but it's also the animals and creatures that live there too that deserve care, attention, love, and support. Because it's a growing ecosystem.
It's an entire ecosystem, and much like our ecosystem, but like everyone else in the world. So
Yep.
we, in much as it's important that people tell us to take care of the environment within, like, say the United States, so has other countries should. And unfortunately, okay. So I'll talk a little
Yeah,
bit
bees.
about what it get. There's
Ooh,
a
beetles.
different sort of, okay. Uh, this is kind of, I got a little bit into, okay. What was one section? I do have an interest in sort of like, I guess there's part of the interest I have in, like, specifically when it comes to water and wastewater treatment. So, I could talk about water service. We could talk about water for a
Sure.
second. Okay.
Let's talk about
Uh,
water. I like water.
so the main sources of water are basically groundwater aquifers, which is basically a way. It's a method of. Hold on. Okay, it's a method of like transferring like where water is to like a certain place. Basically, a 69% of the resources of water. So now, in the annual water quantity, it is around 417.9 million cubic meters, and the majority of which
Okay.
come from the aquifers, some of which is from discharge. Okay, uh, very small, a very percentage of it comes from desalinated water, which, okay, so desalination involves, it's a sort of water. I guess it is definitely a water treatment process when it comes to removing like salt and other materials from like salt water, because we mentioned that it is near a coastline, but that's mainly to like salt water to like water that you could basically water that you can drink, water that
Yeah.
is like potable and drinkable. Basically, you can use it without having to like without having to like get harmful substance carcinogens and like or harmful substances within your body. Now,
Exactly.
uh, now this is like it's obviously for people to use, but also the livestock to use it. But like this necessarily, uh, so there's only a small percentage of it that is basically wastewater that is treated and then reused, mainly for irrigation, such as for alfalfa and barley of crops. I'll get it,
Yep.
and lack, but there is a lack of energy availability for those processes for reusing. So it common within this region is harvesting rainwater, but it's not like a large scale. Uh, and possibly because of that decrease, I think I mentioned that there's like necessarily a decrease in rainfall within the higher temperatures. It probably would be kind of less with those droughts, but also necessarily that you would have less harvested rainwater because the only you would get mainly in those flash floods, which you would probably be a lot. It probably like necessary.
Yep.
Because, however, now this groundwater is the majority of that usage. However, you need to heavily treat that because a lot of it has been often like contaminated by seawater, which you said
Yep.
that is the salt water. That's where the desalination process comes from, and the nitrate pollution. So,
Mhm.
okay. Oh, I should mention, uh,
What's up?
interestingly, 84.2 MCM, which I would just shorten for million cubic meters, actually
Yep.
comes from Mekarot, which is like Israel's water company for like importing to that region. Um,
Oh,
quite a
real
bit.
quick, we have a question from a chat for you. What is exactly nitrate pollution? That's a wonderful question.
Okay, nitrate pollution is basically when you have substance. Okay, when it comes to let me recall my knowledge. My okay, so when it comes to nitrates in water, or come from like existing, comes from
Yep.
existing like bodies of water, such as like you could say like such as a river. Now, it's such as a river that often is like sometimes you could say that there's also like rocks and necessarily it, and obviously there are certain things that kind of get into this water, such as like uh so nitrates as necessarily as substance you basically need to like kind of remove and do the wastewater, like do water treatment processes actually. Do the water treatment basically if you get like, if you measure something like hardness, which is basically the amount of, well, it's kind of different, but the amount of like carbonates, the amount of like
Yeah.
carbonates, which is like say like calcium carbonate within the substance. If you need like you would need to have to decrease that in order. Well, you need to like decrease that in order to have like safe drinking water. The same thing kind of goes with nitrates. You have to like at least separate those. You need to at least separate those into like a waste in order to be able to make it safe. Um,
Do you mind if I take over for a bit and try explaining?
yeah,
So yeah, actually, Aftergrowth gave a good point. Because from fertilizer, nitrates are a very important aspect. They're full of nitrogen, and they're very important for our life cycle, specifically for plants. Plants need nitrates and specifically the nitrogen in them to grow well. However, it's also a waste product for a lot of humans. So you'll see it in a lot of poop, a lot of fertilizer, and that's also why fertilizer is really good for plants. But because it's a waste product, humans don't really need it as much, and it actually can get quite poisonous in great quantities. So if there's too much nitrates, like if it's a lot of runoff
exactly.
from
When it
fertilizer
comes
from
to like,
soil,
fertilizer.
it hurts us. Mind you, like a great way nitrates enter the system is through lightning. Lightning strikes and it infuses the soil with much needed nitrogen and nitrates to revitalize the earth. But yeah, it is one of many pollutants that comes from poop. It's something that our body shunts out of our system because we don't need it to grow. And if we get too much stuff we don't need, it's harmful. Do correct me if anything of that was wrong.
No, yeah, yeah, okay, definitely, yeah. There's definitely an aspect that comes from like the usage of like fertilizers, which do have nitrates in order to like keep it keep those away from like things that would harm the crops. But it's definitely a sort of but it definitely is a product that can seep into the like
Leaching.
groundwater
Yep.
if not treated.
Oh, so you can't treat it. Okay, yeah.
So, well,
That's
if the
good.
water itself is not treated, oh, it probably would need
Yeah.
to be like separated within that treatment process. Uh, oh, so to clarify, the treatment process is basically you have to separate the materials first. You have to separate the solid materials first before being able to get into the smaller substances, which you need to have like processes for, and then cleaning the water enough in terms of aesthetic appearance, but also in drinking, uh decreasing the amount of minerals needed. They have like a limit of a minimum limit to be able to be determined. That's kind of determined whether it be like safe for drinking.
Yep.
Okay, can you hold 1 second?
Please take your
Hold
time.
1 second.
Do what you gotta.
Yeah.
Also, as a big thank you to Aardvark. Aardvark has been able to take off of work and has made time out of their busy schedule to come in with this incredible gamut of information about just the environment, about the animals that live here, its statistics about the world that we live in. And it's really great to be able to find. It's so easy in our day and age to get so caught up in the news and only learn about our region because of what we hear on the news. It was nice to get a really human element and realize how similar we all are. So as we're going pretty well. To be honest, look at that. We've this is about like I think a 400 piece puzzle. We're getting Aardvark. I asked him, would it be possible for you to kind of be able to organize these notes into either a document, a PowerPoint, and I kid you not, within a couple days, the Mad Lad comes in with like statistics up the yin yang, and I am floored. I wish I was able to collect such a large breadth of information. And this is a really fun marriage of two ideas, because I thought Puzzle might be a fun thing to do. Aardvark really wanted to be able to have a space to be able to bring attention to a really important topic, and I figured this way we can have a fun little visual to just kind of keep it in touch. And the cool thing about puzzles is that you really get to appreciate each little puzzle piece. You get to really understand, and you don't just like look at a picture like, oh, that's cool. You get to really understand and appreciate all the small details that come into it. So it's really nice. Also, I know, right?
I got kind of into the weeds. I'm a little bit of an environmental like nerd within myself, and also I did get into these notes are not as extensive, but I do want to be able to relay the information without having like bogged down. But I do notice that it's not as in depth. But there's definitely more resources that I think I use, but I forgot to include there. But necessarily, this is kind of a basic dossier. This is a kind of informal.
Don't sell yourself short. This is an informal thing. Is like 4 bullet points. Your effort really shows. This is don't undersell the amount of work you put into it. There are probably more detailed documents out there, but you put an incredible effort, and it deeply shows.
Thank you. I also within this document, I actually included. There's actually a few reports that have actually been written about this, about like the general environment and such. So that if you are looking for more information, I would recommend looking up if you want like a more in-depth of the statistics and such. I only included some just to relay at least some. I should. So really, okay. Where was I? Okay. So this leads to like really. However, I do it again. So many of the wells have now. It is now many of the wells have been like destroyed, and as well as the major desalination plants. There are some still smaller plants, but those are definitely not enough to retain the massive amounts of actually decreasing water within this region, within this Palestine region, because of like many of destroyed and like rendered non-functional. And when you don't have a functional water plant, really being you don't really have a way to treat it. There's not like basically you need water to live. You need water for basic functions and such. And when the only water you have is the water that comes basically contaminated or still like has salt, basically kind of straight from the groundwater, you have a lot of problems. They're like dehydration, obviously because it's still a salt in it, and like a lot of, and this includes not just for drinking, but obviously for hygiene needs. Like if you need to take a shower, obviously, and there's not enough water for everyone, which leads to a lot of households actually, which leads to a lot of people sharing basically a shower within a household.
Actually, do you mind if I interrupt for a bit with an anecdote?
Yes.
So, legitimately, I can have a lot of folks who live in the Christian quarters in Jerusalem and abroad, and even some in Ramallah, Ramle, and And that was something that my folks, because we grew up in the States, told me, hey, Pix, heads up, water is scarce. They will be very generous. Do not overextend. Do not take advantage of that generosity. And it was really, again, when I take showers, I crank that stuff up. I enjoy it. But when I went over there, it was, again, the heat unbearable. But whenever we drank water, we didn't have water bottles. It was almost like, there were water bottles, of course, but like, we didn't drink from the tap. Whenever they wanted to serve water, they of course went into the fridge and pulled out, it looked like almost like small, clear plastic cups. Like, you know those water cups you get at like Taco Bell or something? The small ones? It was like that, but had like a tinfoil lid to it that you just could peel off. And they just had those in, like, that was their whole fridge. And I was surprised to be like, oh, I'm thirsty. I could drink like a gallon of, I only get a cup. I don't want to, this is like clearly like expensive and not easy to get. And even when I took the showers, it wasn't a very heavy stream. And my parents told me, make sure, pigs, don't use the water too heavily. And it was just a small little, it wasn't as heavy a stream as you'd imagine. And it was very jarring to know that I was suffering because it was the dead of summer in the heat. And I was so used to it. And it was unfortunate to know that that was not something that other people in other places could, it was a very humbling moment. I don't know. To know that these people, like, every day, they don't drink water from the tap. They don't drink, they have to go to the store to buy, like, single-use cups. Go ahead.
I appreciate you bringing that up, actually, because not only obviously do I not have greater context, I did this research, but I don't have the experience, well, at least the sort of like anecdotal or like, I'm very far removed from this extent, but like appreciate you sharing that context within, because it helps me understand a little more. Well, actually, not just like realize that this is, at least in some way, is true and accurate, but it's like humanizes. And I think that's as much as I could bring up statistics. The important thing is that this region is vulnerable, but not impossible to save. And
of course, like I'm gonna say, even my experiences are very slim. That was like 2 weeks I had in a summer trip when I got to visit my relatives. And it was a very brief encounter. It was a fun little, again, we got to see all the sights, but I don't have nearly the breadth of information. This is, most of what I have is anecdotal from my parents' trauma, their trauma, and just a very young kid's perspective. So, but I hope it does offer some insight. But thank you. Sorry.
Yeah. No, that's helpful. So I don't wear out my voice and like.
Oh yeah, please.
So yeah, when it comes to these needs, you do need it for hygiene, because that is soap. Okay, well we need. This is like I didn't find so much about it, but like soap and other needs that we use for cleaning are like basically prohibited, or very expensive in that region because there's a lack of availability. There's a lack of supply. Okay. There's so much demand. There needs to be demand, but there is not enough supplies. Very much, it was doing. Even when I looked it up, it was mainly that it was citing during the Ukrainian conflict, but it's probably even more so now, because that there's a blockade. But why don't we talk about agriculture for a second? Over 80 of which are rain-fed and 90% are irrigated. So, this is the fun part, because this is food. It's something that's familiar to me. Olive trees, wheat, barley, beans, potatoes, onions, fig trees, garlic, grapes, almonds, citrus fruits. Those are, at least in some way, of the very traditional, which are grown within this region. The olive tree, in particular, is symbolic. Not just like in an economic sense, but like that connection within the land. Some of these some of which are thousands of years old.
Actually, yeah.
Unfortunately,
Before he came on voice, we're talking about the Garden of Gethsemane and how they found that those were that was actually the last episode we did. How those olive trees were nearly 1,000 years old, planted in like 1020 AD. It's crazy.
so yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
What was the Jordan? Sorry, I might have.
Oh, the Garden of Gethsemane, which you might know as it's referenced in the Bible, where Jesus got like arrested by the Romans. It's apparently, according to the name, it's a place where olives were pressed.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's also they called like heirloom cauliflower, which is like I saw a picture when it was like the globes are like huge.
Yeah.
I think there's also heirloom watermelon, okra, tomatoes, zucchini, wheat. Oh, I think I might have said wheat. Okay. Livestock. There's also like mainly. I think I found only like chickens and cows. Basically, that's
Oh
used.
yeah.
Um. So there's
A lot of
I
goats,
think.
from what I've been told.
Okay. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
That I think that is that. That's it's probably and it comes to like obvious and obviously I think that they referred like I think I found an article about like I think some person who went within that region. Oh, there's also herbs. I forgot to mention sator,
Please.
which is actually
Yes.
wild oregano,
Actually,
sage,
wait. It,
chamomile, camo, cam, chamomile. Okay, okay. Orchids and like choids or choids. I just say that. Um, mainly that's a lot like the reach herbs from there. Oh, I think I forgot to ask what exactly. I forget. I think did I give you this picture? I might have
let's see
forgotten.
it. I'll be happy to share it if you have it. But yeah, as a heads up, Zoltar, actually, what you mentioned, I'd love to go on a tangent if that's okay. If that's alright.
No, that's perfect.
Yeah, because Zoltar is, you're correct. It's actually, it refers to the wild herbs, some of the wild herbs in Palestine of time. As we get around, oh my goodness, we'll pause it for a minute. Izmir is actually a goblin. Goblin, welcome in. Hello, welcome in. How's everyone doing?
Hello.
My name is Professor Pix EXE, and we are joined by our guest professor here, Amir Aardvark. Aardvark has been telling us all about. We're actually today doing a fundraiser for the PCRF. We're raising money to help Palestinian kids in need as we make puzzles of some Palestinian landscapes, while Aardvark gives us some really cool facts about the environment. We've learned about butterflies and animals that are indigenous to the region. It's quite wonderful. And right now we're talking about herbs and food. And it's just a fun little learning lesson where we get to learn some fun facts. Sucky raid. If you gotta get some food, water, rest, Goblin, please do. Don't let us hold you back. But we're actually about to learn some really cool facts about some of the local fauna and flora. Do stay tuned though if you can, because in a short bit we will be raffling off some free art as part of our fantastic fundraiser. We had the opportunity to give away a lovely piece by the talented Telekaunetic. And the next piece is going to be a full-on to trees ornament made by a Palestinian cross-stitcher in Taiwan. Oh, and there we go. We finished the puzzle.
Okay.
You did it. We did it. I got to raid and run. Please. Oh, please don't go. Enjoy D&D. Roll them dice. Crit those monsters. Make sure to seduce. Don't just seduce the dragons. Seduce all the other monsters too. They deserve some love. But But yeah, stay tuned. We're going to be in a short bit raffling off a lovely hand-stitched to trees ornament. So stay tuned. But yeah, go ahead, please, Aardvark. Go, please tell me what you're saying. I was going to make a tangent about Zaatar, but these lovely folks must know.
I think okay. I didn't find too much information about like the flora of such, but I know that in historic Palestine there was around 3,007 species, with over 1,600 in the West Bank alone. In the Mediterranean, there's Maki forest with like there's like a trees with oaks and pistachia.
Pistachio is really big.
The pistachio. Okay, I didn't find too much information about that, which is I feel like maybe you know what this is apologies about that. I get it.
No, good. Do your thing.
Oh wow, that's a lot. Okay.
All right, new room is
Well,
up. Sorry, go right ahead.
Okay, so okay. There's some. Wow, this. Alright. I'm trying to find something about that because I virtually dropped the ball on. Oh, okay. Plants. Okay. So, some of these, I'm looking on a separate. Oh, the sumac. I forgot.
Oh, sumac.
Oh,
Ooh.
sumac. Sorry. Okay. Definitely. Okay. Sumac. There's also, the Tisra tree. The Tisla tree. Oh,
Ooh.
okay. There's a bigger picture. Wow, that's small. The Atlantic pistachio. Yeah.
Oh,
there's
let's
also
pull it up. Atlantic pistachio. Go ahead.
There's also, which I think is quite a big tree, honestly, from what I see. There's also some smaller plants such as Blepharis. There's also the Syrian bear's breech here. Southern
Syrian
maidenhair.
bears.
So it's that. I don't know.
Oh, here we go. The Syrian bear. Oh, look, guys. This is lovely. Look at this. Copy image link. Close up of Acanthus hirsutus, Syracuse. The Syrian bear. Oh, that's lovely. You seen this?
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah.
It's got the little thorns, but it's still so. Oh my! Wait, here's a better one. From above. This looks like from straight out of a fantasy book. The way it kind of towers on upward and upward. Bear's breeches. I guess it does kind of look like the like breeches for a bear, like little overalls and suspenders. Aww. But yeah, do you mind if I talk about two of those things you talked about, sumac and Zaatar?
Yes.
Yeah. So Zaatar refers to a lot of the wild thyme that grows in the Middle East. But if you take that time and mix it with sumac, sesame seeds, let me see the full list here. Yep, sesame seeds, sumac, salt, and a few other things. You get a very traditional spice blend, which is also called Zaatar. And it looks like this, and I'll be honest, as a kid, I didn't like it because it was very bitter. Because it's just a bunch of spices. But what you would do is you take pita bread, dip it in olive oil, dip it in the spice blend, and you have a really nice breakfast. You can also sprinkle that same sort of like thyme blend, which is again very iconic, essentially on dough. You take the dough, slather it in olive oil, cover that olive oil spread with this blend, and you now have something called menaish, or what you might be called thyme pies. It's nice, it's crisp, it's a bit bitter because again it's a lot of spices, but it's a fantastic pairing with tea, for a breakfast, with side of eggs and hummus. It's a fantastic little snack to have on the side. And my mom would literally take Pillsbury dough, because we were lazy like that, and we'd make it at home out of those like Pillsbury dough biscuits. And sumac, you might know, while it is a poisonous plant in the wild, if you treat it right and you buy it in the store, turns into a wonderfully red and delicious looking powder. And you
It's
just,
a
I'll be
ground.
honest, one of my ground. Go ahead. Yes, ground. Yes.
It's a reddish, kind of like a brownish red sort of thing. I might have seen. I definitely seen it in somewhere.
It's so good. And I'll be honest, literally just sprinkle this on any like long grain rice you have. It'll turn it delicious. One of my favorite dishes as a kid growing up was literally just chicken sumac. You cook chicken, and once you're done cooking the chicken in olive oil, the chicken cube chicken, you just sprinkle on sumac, and then you fry that all together with like fried onions. The important thing is the onions have to be like really well caramelized. But once you're done, you have it's a bit sour, it's a bit savory, it makes your mouth water, and it's a beautiful combination. Like just you pair that with a nice side of like hummus dip. This will make you. This is top 3 dishes for me, and it's super easy. And it's a classic. You can get it like you can get it in bulk in the middle. Oh, here we go. Over here you see chicken sumac, and they also made a fun little dish with pickled onions. Or are they beets? Yeah, pickled onions in beet juice. And you sprinkle that also with
Yeah.
sumac and lemon juice, and it's disgustingly good. Like, that's the one thing the Levant has. A lot of pickled goods. Because we pickle stuffed eggplant, we pickle wild cucumbers, we pickle radishes and beet juice, so you have this nice crunchy thing, and it's the best add-ins on any sandwich, guarantee you. Kenny and Lorraine, welcome in. Sorry for that weird tangent. I love food. I love talking about food.
Well, I love food too.
Good. We're in good company.
Basically, my life is kind of centered around food. So
Aw.
yeah, you do appreciate those things. It's some
Yeah.
in one aspect or another. So that's true. But
Nice.
so what did I not mention?
I think you were talking about sumac.
So yeah. Oh, right. Yeah. There's at least. Oh, there's way more. Okay. Oh, there's way more. Oh, this one looks okay.
It's quite
So
a few,
there's one
yeah.
called the. I guess it's referred to here as the Palestine Arum. Something about the.
A room.
Oh, it is. I guess it's reference. It's toxic as toxic medicinal. So,
Ooh.
but not like as in toxic and medicinal. So, interesting. So, oh, Mediterranean wild asparagus, prickly asparagus. Oh, there's a set. Oh, okay. So there is a version, not like it is probably different than the way that asparagus is usually known as or looks like. But in that region, there is a version of asparagus that grows. I think. Actually, it doesn't
Specky
look too
asparagus.
different, but probably looks. But there's the prickly asparagus here. I'm just
Ooh,
reading off.
prickly.
I'm
You're
just
fine.
reading hyacinth squill, which. Oh, what the dork? Okay. Look up the dork
Yeah, I've seen
hyacinth
this.
here.
How do you spell that?
The dork hyacinth. Okay, it's hyacinth is HYACINTH.
Oh, yes, like the flower. Palestinian Dora hyacinth. Ooh, I'm having trouble finding these. I can find regular hyacinths though. Here we go. These look wonderful though.
Let's see. So. Oh,
Here we
there's
go.
plenty. Oh, So
Orientalists. Woo!
an extensive amount.
Very cool, very cool. Baby
The
Rainbow says,
one
I had
at the
Lebanese food yesterday from my favorite restaurant. Oh, the best grape leaf. Yeah, the one at the Wali. Oh, stuffed grape leaves are so good.
oh yeah. Oh, that's so good. I love when I don't eat them a lot, but obviously, but like
Mhm.
the chance to do is like so good.
So, it's funny. Here's a funny thing, though. If you go and look around in the U.S., you'll notice that it's actually called dolmas. And dolma is the Greek word for grape leaves, which is, again, still super delicious. But you'll notice that in the US, they do the Greek style, where they make their grape leaves nice and thick and fat. But I know that my folks, the way that we do it, maybe that's just maybe my family, maybe it's more regional, but in our part of the world, we actually make it nice and super thin. Not too much rice, and you make it nice and tight. So that way, there's almost like a, it's a bit, yeah, it's a bit easier to bite into, and it's a lot, rather than, I mean, in the U.S., of course, it's almost covered in the slime because that's what helps keep it preserved in cans and stuff. But
Yeah.
the way my folks would do it, it'd be less slimy, more dry. But we would just hit that with a nice squeeze of lemon juice on top. And my mom would literally spend 6 hours every day. Wake up early in the morning, put on her bandana, get out the big baking tray, lay out about 70 grape leaves evenly, get the whole family involved. It's a family thing where take a grape leaf, put a line of rice, and then roll it up. I swear if we did it enough times, we would be better than Snoop Dogg at rolling joints. Because it was a lot of just fold, and just roll it tight, nice and tight every time.
You're on a different kind of high.
Yeah, yep. Get some lemon juice high. It's delicious. It's good for you. Oh, what do they go for? They're for eating. But they're also the leaves of a grape. Actually, let me see, just for a grape leaf, how to make. Let me see if I can find. There's probably like a picture. Here we go. Fantastic.
Oh, anyone, feel free to ask questions within the chat. I'll either like look it up or probably answer it. I really
Yeah.
appreciate if people ask questions within the chat actually because it's really interesting and I do want like it's an active like a good
Oh yeah.
curiosity in this because that's kind of the point.
So here's how you do it. Really straightforward, as you can see on screen. First, it'll come in a giant jar of grape leaves in a brine, so it's nice and treated already. You pluck the stem, because you have to devein all of them. Pluck the stem, and you make a line of a rice and meat combination. Okay, I'll be so honest. Some people like it, the rice and meat with onions. I like mine vegetarian. And the vegetarian is rice, tomatoes, and onions. And the thing is, the only spice you add to this rice and meat blend is allspice. Maybe cinnamon, maybe, but I think it's mostly allspice. And it's so good. And you make a line, you fold it over, and then you just roll it tight until you have something like that. Yep, they're brine grape leaves that you bake. Yup. Actually, I think you boil it. Actually, does it make or boil? That's a good question. So this is what would happen. My mom would first cut up some potatoes. Like really thin potatoes. And she would line the bottom of the pot with potatoes, so that way it wouldn't burn. And then after the base is covered in potatoes, she would then line it and start essentially filling it to the brim, to the absolute brim with, let's see if I can pull it up. I have it right here. Grape leaves. And come on, picture and load. Like so. And you would just put the top on, put that on the stove, turn up the heat, and I think you had water. I could be wrong. And yeah, once the rice is fully cooked, everything's all nice and steamed. You open it up, you take, and you put the plate on top of it, turn it upside down, you pull it off, and then you have a lovely little upside down. You have it with the potatoes on top, and then like a tower of grape leaves. And that'll feed a family of 70. A lot of Middle Eastern cooking is cooking for big families, for big gatherings, because there's a big theme of generosity. Oh, here we go. Here's a good. Ba 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 ba. Yep, there it is. Absolute stuff. No, we cook in bulk. You best be sure that most Middle Eastern dishes are about cooking for massive families. That's why our baking trays are so freaking large. Like here's a Lebanese, like the Lebanese baking trays are these absolutely massive ones. If you saw Lottie Sweets' stream earlier where she made not kinafa, harissa, it also is a giant dessert tray that you make in a giant pan. Oh no, it's a regular oven, but I want you to know sometimes these pots and these giant baking trays will I wouldn't say scrape the edges, but barely nearly scrape the edges. Because if you eat at an Arab's home, I guarantee you that they're sending you home with like 4 containers to take home with you. Sorry, but go ahead. Aardvark, sorry for taking the spotlight for a bit.
I do actually. Let me go to the bathroom real quick.
Oh, go ahead, Bill. Please go do that self-care. Actually, while I go to the bathroom, why don't we do a raffle so that way you get some rest and I can take care of some art stuff. So everyone, thank you so much for sticking with us so far. And why don't we begin our next raffle? We're now at our $1,000 tier mark. Perks Mega! You made it just in time. We're about to raffle off a new piece. So for those of you guys just now hopping in, hi, I'm PixEXE. And we're raising money for the PCRF, which helps Palestinian kids in need. It's specifically a charity to help give kids the food, water, and nutrition they need to hopefully live good and full and fulfilling lives. And as a part of this fundraiser, every time we hit milestones, for all the way from $25 all the way to $2,500, we have wonderful art giveaways planned in store. Ooh, we finished. Oh, that's good. Making time for your loved ones. That's great. And this is our current milestone and the last one that we've unlocked. The next one we have to unlock is at $1,250. So we are only 30 plus 50 away. So only $80 away from hitting our next milestone, which would unlock a lovely illustration by Ariel Supernova. So, of course, you can. Let me go get a blue sky post for you, and I can show that off momentarily. It is somewhere on my profile. There we go. Copy link. Boop. Ta-da! On that blue sky post is a full-on video that has, essentially, it'll be the same one you see right over here. That just slowly shuffles through all the pieces. So feel free to pause and drag as you'd like. But yes, let's get this bot up and rolling. Oop. Once this timer starts, you'll have exactly 5 minutes. 5 minutes! To win a Tetris ornament. As a heads up, what's the thing on the right? Oh, that's our lovely guest host, who is currently off to the bathroom. I'll make him a bit smaller, so there we go. He's currently off to the restroom, but he'll be back shortly. But yeah, as a heads up, to win this prize, as a heads up, you must be comfortable giving your address, not to me, but to our lovely artist and stitcher, Ophine Stitch. Ophine Stitch is a Palestinian, essentially crocheter or a networker that specializes in traditional Palestinian Tetris art. Tetris is a traditional type of stitch work. It's very geometric that draws its roots in Palestine, in Gaza, and a lot of the old famous villages. And there you can see dresses called tubes made of them, lovely pocket pouches, cozies, anything really. And this is one of her newest little creations that she made, a little ornament. But with that, let me quickly go over here, go over to giveaways, and type in Ophi and Stitches to trees ornament. Alright guys, you got 5 minutes to join a free raffle. You do not have to donate to enter, you just have to be in chat. On your marks, get set, giveaway! I think I forgot to tell you that a week ago I went on a date and asked her out to be my girlfriend, for 2 years. Yo, congratulations! Aw, a little office romance. You want to say it Monday, during Cyber Monday? Ooh, you gonna cyber on Cyber? No, I shouldn't say that. That's a bit too fast. Prince Aaron, welcome in, welcome in. We got 4 people already entering in, guys. That means you have a 25% chance of winning. But if you don't see your name here on screen, that means you haven't entered yet. Did she say yes? Ooh. I think she did. I think she did. Also, Clement, you made it just in time. If you're comfortable giving your physical address to have a prize shipped to you, feel free to enter the raffle for Ophi and Stitches to Trees ornament. You made it just in time. Right now, only 4 people have entered. But if you would like to have a cute little Tetris charm, Tetris being the type of Palestinian cross-stitching that she specializes in. I can't. No, not a worry, Mokojo. Please take a seat. You are good. Anyways, since I won one of the prizes from the raffle, does that mean I can't participate? As someone who's just a chatter, no, by all means, feel free to participate. I only ask that of our guest stars because they tend to be on a lot of our shows. So no, but as a viewer who's not participating as a guest star or raffle artist, please by all means enter in. If you've already won once, go right ahead. Question, definitely not a cent, not a dime. Every time Ophi and Stitch has been so kind to front the charges for shipping from Taiwan, where she's currently lived. Oh, I just forgot about that. No, you're good. You're good, ladies. You're good. But yeah, we have about 2 minutes and 46 seconds left. We only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 entrants. Prince Aaron, Prismatic Pixie, Madame Lucario, Mega Yuval, Mary Berry, Kaylee LeRae, and Aardvark, yes! Good man, welcome back in. You can only win once. I only ask that if, Mary Berry, if you are a guest star. If you're here actually guest starring and you're like, but it's maybe since you're not a guest star, you're just a follower, feel free to enter in and win again if you'd like. You would give the address, you would communicate with Ophi and Stitch on a platform of their choice, most likely Discord or Twitch Whispers, and or even maybe Blue Sky or Twitch or Twitter. And that's something that you can arrange with them, and I do not look at that at all. I do not want y'all's address. Do not send me your address. I do not want it. I do not want to know where you live. Oh, also Kaylee LeRae, Chicken Whispers. Ooh, you might have, ooh. You might have something, a little something in your direct messages. Baby Rainbow, thank you for entering the raffle. You know where I live. I do. I do. The moon. How do I do? Alright, how do I talk to them? Well, not yet. You haven't won yet. Don't worry. I'll get that information to you if you win. Not a worry. But y'all, you found me. I did. But yeah, Mega, if it ends up not being good, don't worry. We can just re-raffle this at a later point. No pressure if it ends up not working out. Just let me know and we can always figure out later. So, riffle! Clement, you misspelled it. Clement's raffle with an A.
Yeah, back. Okay.
You must type raffle with an A. Riffle will only get you, I can draw you a hat. That's what Riffle can do. There we go! Guys, we got 30 seconds left on this, raffle. On this riffle. Riffle. Oh, we're going back to French now. Waffle! Waffle! Waffle fries dead. You did! Guys, 3 seconds left. 3 seconds left. 3, 2, 1. Who wins? Madam Lucario! You did it! Congratulations! Big confetti's in chat.
Whoa.
Woo!
That is it.
Oh crap, wow, yeah, not a worry, I am gonna quickly DM our lovely friend. There we go. Go over to Ophi. We have a winner. Let me know if you need help getting in contact with the winner. And thank you again. And with that, guys, that has finished up all of the raffles that we've unlocked. Guys, if you would like us to continue giving away free art from all these amazing artists, the next 5 tiers we have left is at $12.50. We get to give away a lovely illustration by none other than Ariel Supernova. And at $1,500, if you guys might know this lovely pink little succubus who lives on your computer, Pinnawook yet again has offered their wonderful talents to make a pixel portrait, which is phenomenal, by the way. Their art is absolutely just out of this world. If we hit $1,750, a good close friend of ours, Victor Robo Critter, will be doing a full-on color illustration with the color background as well. If we had a flat 2,000, Goodnight Fira, a fantastic VTuber of her own accord, has offered to do a full widescreen background. This thing can be used for like VTubing, for a fun little background for your this. Could be used as a wallpaper, literally any sort of portrait for a full-on illustration of a scene. It's yours. I know a lot of clowns. And if we somehow hit $22.50, Cyber Jester has offered to do a free V-Roid model for you. Some of the assets will be using free-to-use stuff, so as a heads up, you can't sell it or resell it, because it, that's how that sort of the licensing goes for a lot of the assets that they use to create it. But it is good to use for VTubing yourself. Enjoy your lurk. And if we somehow hit our maximum, the talented, the illustrious Ichigo-tan has come out of their yearly hibernation to offer a full-on pixel study sheet of your characters. I'm jealous. I want this. I want this. I need this. I would do unspeakable things for this. But yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for all your help and support. And with that, let's get back to it. Thank you, Aardvark, for letting me just go my little spiel. I appreciate it. I know it's a lot. Ugh.
That's fine.
Here we go. Back to the oh, we finished the Dome of the Rock. Holy crap!
Where was I at?
Great question. You're talking about the flowers, about the hyacinth.
Yeah, I was just kind of going on it. I guess trying to find as many, which I think I did find. I found a site of which shows a lot of plants. Well, it's like listed there is 201 entries, which is a lot. So I'll link this in the document later because that is very helpful. But anyway, so I don't think I have so much more to add unless if I can find a lot of other information. But a brief tangent about energy. So because of the areas around solar, because of the areas that a lot of it is near the sun. a lot of it is like facing towards the sun. So there is a very much potential for greater solar energy use, but it's been largely unfulfilled and often used by like often imported tools and equipment, such as for those electrical water heaters that's been used. Although, yes, that has been blocked. Unfortunately, that has been blocked by it has been blockaded from on this technical equipment for greater solar energy usage.
Yep.
The energy, especially if needed. So, um, so and this leads to kind of why in terms of keeping it all in. So rounding back to where I was started, environmental destruction. So because of the munitions and toxins that have been spread throughout the region, it's been this basically contaminates all of the soil and water. Basically, like there's a lot of carcinogenic metals that are not safe for human consumption or like contact actually for dermal, such as cobalt, cadmium, lead, and like basically and whether
Ooh.
they and basically the contaminants littered the sea too, both in what it gives off, both in like the hazardous materials like physical pieces, but also in on the land and the sea, but also in what they give out, such as like and indeed, sort of like the air quality has been polluted too. Air is also crucially important, especially if you are living in an arid region. You need to have at least suitable air quality for people to live within that region, and not especially if okay so because but it's been greatly polluted by like smoke and harmful pesticides too, both from the toxins and that such. Uh, And a lot of the trees are like destroyed. There's a lot of land cover that's been destroyed as the trees, and crucially, trees are important for like for oxygen uses and in general, not just in shade. Okay, trees are often important for shade, obviously in terms of like hot days, because you need to have like cool before you like get majorly like dehydrated and struggle to like do anything. Base and but also like oxygen that provides for us. Um, and indeed, there aren't a lot of resources for fuel because they've been blockaded or not allowed to. They've been blockaded or there isn't enough there. So the trees have been kind of burned for fuel for cooking and heating, which does and they've left like bombs that like a lot of hazardous materials such as asbestos, heavy metals, like contaminants, and even like parts that are unexploded.
Yep.
There's also noise pollution, which so noise pollution to describe here is a particular aspect of environmental issues that around the surroundings of one's environments based on it's it's not basically what's in the environment, it's what's around you. So noise pollution is basically like if you're in a crowded city, if you're in a loud and bustling city with a lot of cars driving. There's also light pollution too, but light pollution does not really
That's fair.
factor in this case. Yes.
As someone who lives in the city a lot, there's me like I light pollution. It's funny. The sheer stark difference between going to city and then going to country and being like, oh wait a minute, there's actually things in the sky. That's actually it's a
You're
major
not
jump.
blinded. Oh, yeah, you're not blinded.
Yeah.
Listen,
Yep.
but yeah, so a lot of so noise pollution is something that is huh? Oh.
Sorry, Megan was like, "Oh yeah, driving in cars right after they're just memeing," and I'm like, "No, being silly, genuinely." It's Deltarune memes.
So yeah. noise pollution is something like if you have a lot of like bus activity, and that kind of affects you as well, kind of how you perceive how you like your surroundings, whether you are able to do stuff with it, and that affects your behavior. Um, I cannot imagine living in an environment where there are bombs and planes and guns shooting practically every day, and it is quite harrowing. It
Oh
like
yeah.
you we taught that we neglect to mention those tragedies, but yeah, a lot of those lava tanks, violence, guns, shooting. That is a lot of noise, and that is a lot of noise pollution. That includes bombs too, uh,
Yep.
and and like at a high it was reported what an article, one bomb every 10 minutes in the Gaza Strip. It is
Yep.
if okay, so, and that leads to like this general noise pollution that leads to basically practically being unlivable, or at least very hard to survive day after day. The sleep disruption, hearing loss, and even like can affect you like negative behavior, because obviously I don't think how you'd be able to function in a loud environment that with no basically no room for silence. Anxiety disorders. It,
Yep.
and I can't
Shell
imagine
shock
that
is real.
even
Yeah.
if bombs that stop, bombs that stop, like even if there's a ceasefire and there's nothing stopping, what, like, and then that in turn, that PTSD expression, because like, who knows when there's going to be another bomb? Kind of like afraid of if there is another bomb, there may not be another bomb, but you don't know what. It is quite harrowing. It's like it's like sure you may be at peace for a moment, but you don't know when something else is gonna. You don't know when something is going to go wrong. It's going to go back to the way it is, and it's in that adaptability and
Yep.
that whiplash between those. So,
Also, if I
oh
also, also if I
yeah,
can add to
you'll go.
this, an important thing to add to this is knowing that because of a lot of the damage, a lot of the war, a lot of the strife, people that used to happen, nearly half of the population in Gaza is under 18. So the people who are suffering these sort of like repeated stress and anxieties and shell shock and PTSD are kids who are anywhere from 16 to 15 to 12 to, and that's half. And that's terrifying to know, because adults at least might have some more. I mean, no one is immune to the horrors of war, but to have to face it so early and so soon, I can only you can't really undo that sort of level of deep-seated trauma, and what that does to a person. Because I know for me, I would not be the person I am today. I would not be the silly haha clown if I was grew up around an environment where I wasn't sure if I would, be within radius of an explosion. It's scary. It's real scary stuff.
And yeah, yeah, it is. It is quite scary. It is horrifying, even. And food insecurity, yeah, and as I mentioned, there's a lack of food, both imported and in crops too, and in the agriculture, because you that soil that's been contaminated, you have to, you have to grow stuff inside. You have to grow stuff. It has been contaminated. It is. You would have to. You would have to like. How it is. You would need to have a lot in order to like build it up again to a healthy amount where plants can grow, and that's not for oh god many years. And yeah, this leads to, even if imported too, there's so is a lot of food insecurity, which leads to there's not a lot of food for everyone, and this is very much a famine inside that area, and you're basically not. getting the recommended amount of energy, as well as I think as the United Nations report that it is the daily requirement of 2,100 calories for an average adult.
Yep.
They're only surviving on 245 calories.
I think I've gotten more out of that out of a brownie I had like yesterday, and that's that. Oh man,
So
it's harrowing. Yeah.
it is. And in turn, how long? And I do want to. I'm going. Indeed. How long would it take? Uh. Oh, that's not even touching on. That's not even touching on. There's like schools destroyed. Every university, basically of every university, is. So we don't know. We okay. Much as I read these reports, we don't know. We only know part of what that damage is. There may be even more that's not even reported.
Yeah, I hate to say, but unfortunately, it can be very difficult to parse what is fact and what isn't. A lot of these events are based off of anecdotal, observatory, like accounts, and then they're published by news sources that can lean bias in both directions. That can be very difficult. So when people are reporting and sharing news, it can be nauseating to try and sift through whose personal accounts have been sensationalized, which ones are genuinely serious, which ones have been, suppressed because everything's on an algorithm. It can be, and thankfully, with the advent of the internet, of mobile devices, people can just get a first-person perspective. So even if the news might be difficult to try and parse what is fact and what is sensationalized, what is biased, at least people can at least see for themselves, like, the situation that's going on. It can be a very hazardous environment to navigate digitally, but yeah. So sorry, it's odd tangent, but it's it's important that y'all stay invested and stay alert. Please don't let this be like a do not push yourselves to view content that is disturbing, that is upsetting. I've had to genuinely mute a lot of accounts that are they're coming from such a good place of trying to get awareness, but for me as myself, I can't handle too much agony and viewing it myself. I'm a very, it's very close to my heart. So please do make sure to curate your spaces. Don't push yourselves to engage in content that is visibly upsetting. These things are happening that are unfortunate. They are indeed, but that doesn't mean that you have to. Oh, a root beer cutie booty. Thank you for the donation. That's so kind of you.
Oh, hey.
We're only We're only 70 away from hitting our next milestone, where we can raffle off more cute art. But yeah, thank you so much. But yeah, to wrap it up, please do not force yourselves to look at content that could be upsetting. That's why I'm doing this event also, so we can try and focus on hopeful messages, go over really cool facts about the world that we're living in. And thankfully, with the ceasefire that is underway, go ahead, please.
I've had to like kind of mute that and like ignore that, even though it is okay. Whatever information I'm telling you, it is important to be aware. It is important to stay aware too. But please, I've had to like kind of like mute this stuff for my own sake, so I don't fall into despair. To
yes, 100%.
Be aware, but don't like. But obviously, be aware. Keep it in your thoughts. Please, not like extensively in your thoughts, but don't like thinking so much about it. But like, keep that awareness within, and like move and like be aware, because it will be concluded someday. It may not be today. I don't know how long it would take, but and I'm sorry. And the way I'm putting these statistics in front of you, and it may be, it may, it. The thing is, it feels out of our control because we can only do quite possibly in the great scheme. We don't have the money to go. We don't have the money to like improve this right away. We'll, in fact, it may not even be in our, it isn't even in our power. But it is
Yep.
important that we stay aware. And that's why I brought all of these information and statistics up so we are aware of it. And um there was something else that I wanted to
Please, because when I ask my folks, like, how do you? Because I'll be honest, there's a lot of genuine generational trauma. Like when I was young, my parents absolutely unloaded and said, "Hey, by the way, this is your heritage. This is who we are." And I'm like, "Oh, that's a lot." I'm like 4. It's a lot. And I would ask them. I even still ask them, "How do you keep going? How do you deal with it?" And I'll be honest, the Middle East is a place where, especially Jerusalem. Jerusalem is such a nexus of religions and faiths, of different. There are literal quarters in West Jerusalem of so many different ethnicities, of Somali Christians, of Druze, of Muslims, of very faithful Jews who are worshiping at the Wailing Wall. It is a blending melting pot of so many faiths that are come together that have such an entwined, interconnected history, and it's because of that faith that a lot of people still hold out hope. So many relatives who are in. It's not my direct relatives, but my relatives. It's like a step away. They live in Gaza, and they still hold out hope. They have faith. They use their religion to give them the courage they need to pass through tomorrow. And it's like just recently, like 3 weeks ago, I was in Sacramento, California, celebrating my cousin's wedding, and we all got dressed up in our traditional Palestinian garb. I had like my little scarf around my neck. My wife had a fun little like Tatriz little shawl, and we just celebrated. We drank, we partied, and people, even the host of the hotel, were like, "Oh, whoa, are you guys actually from like Palestine?" I'm like, "Yeah, we are." And they're like, "Oh, that's so cool." And it was kind of weird to see such a, not just within our circle, but the people who saw us celebrating, hooting and hollering. It was a really warm time, and we find ways to make the most of these moments. So just because the world might be full of dread and pain, Palestine might not exist on a map in many ways, but it exists in our heart. I might not have been born physically. I might not have touched down on Middle Eastern soil. I was born in freaking Pennsylvania, but we carry it with us, and that's why I like this. And that's what's important most. Like Ofi, who we just raffled off because of the diaspora, the Nakba. She and her family don't live in Palestine. She lives over in Taiwan, but she's still Palestinian, and so are we. And so it's something you carry with us, and we carry the faith, we carry our hopes, and we, no matter what, we'll be fine so long as we keep talking like this, keeping culture alive. That's what culture is. Memories, it's food, it's birds, it's plants, it's stories, it's puzzles. It's puzzles. And like a little puzzle piece. Yeah.
We live as part of, it's often said that we are products of environment, but that's not wholly true. We are not just products of the environment. We cultivate that environment. We are, as well as we are part of that environment, we also have to cultivate that part of it. It's connected. It's with us. It's important to maintain that environment. It's important for us to others that their environments are important to, like, the people as a whole. And that's why we bring up this information of the foods. We made the foods, the animals, the life, even the terrain. That's a part. That's a part of the people. That's a part of their environment. They live in it, but they're proud of it. They're connected to that land. Is that olive tree? The olive tree. that is the connection to the land. It's deep rooted.
Yeah,
No matter how much it is burned or uprooted, you can never ultimately get rid of it. That memory of such the olive tree. That
exactly.
it, so bring awareness. Like this, I'm not sure how much of the PCRF gives to, uh, like exactly the other aspects of like the. I forget exactly. Does the PCRF give to like necessarily the people itself, or like in terms of materials and such?
I believe it's specifically food, water, and medical resources. Like I believe their latest issue was they were trying to build a hospital. So essentially, it's making sure resources get to children specifically, like those first. But it's a lot of just yeah, just genuine food, water, medical care, vaccines, and then paying the doctors and people that need to transport those stuff safely. I hope that answers the question. I hope that was.
No, that actually does. That actually does help. So, indeed, organizers. Well, it may not be a direct contributor to this environment, but it does help with the people in that environment, because people as part of that environment too. So yeah, donating to this does help, as well as there's also environmental NGOs such as ASERA and I guess the Palestinian Environmental NGOs Network. I haven't looked too depth
Oh, sure.
into those, but that's specifically. There's also collaborative research that needs to be funded and restoration efforts as well. Um, both in terms of the like remediation that is to be greatly funded, as well as well, like a ceasefire that has happened, but like a permanent end, and that would help rebuild. And it will probably take years. Like, okay, in this one report I found that the UNEP, I forget exactly, but the United Nations Environmental Project, I think, the approximately 40 million tons of debris will take 15 years to clear. Like that is, uh, basically, if you were to get like a lot of trucks to like carry the debris out of the way,
Yep.
and it's similarly on like some sort of a amount of like a large budget. But if that would probably, if it continues, it will probably, if it's greatly funded, it will probably take less time, because you would need, like, you get to have like more trucks and more ways to like help grow it back. Not just to not grow it back to where it once was, but a new beginning, a new peaceful beginning.
Oh, actually, I would love
That's
to read a comment that Yuval just said, real quick. It's really important to know who's next to you. That's a beautiful statement. Sorry, go ahead, please.
no, that is very true. That is um
Because a lot of people I've seen online have gotten really outspoken and have a lot of emotions. Some from good places, some from hate, but they don't know how else to express they want change. But the important thing to know is that like only by getting to know one another and understanding one another. The big issue is government. It's just politics. The
yeah.
regular, normal, average, everyday people who are being impacted by this. People who are bystanders who genuinely don't want to be a part of any of this nonsense, but end up because of again just big government, because of policies, because of money, because of God knows what. Yeah, it's institutions. These unfortunate and change won't happen unless until there are changes in government, and but until those government changes happen, do not take out your anger, your fury, your passion, your love on people who are equally as passionate and actually are just equally being burdened by the same blade.
It is important. It's more than like personal. That yes,
Yep.
it's we have to keep the humanity part. It's not just a cause. It's a cause with humanity and for humanity.
Exactly.
And indeed, keeping that human soul within us, well, it grounds us. But it grounds us instead of some higher but it grounds us to a level that we can sympathize and like. And even if it may be small, but it will build up. But it can build up. It does. It has built up. It will build up. We will contribute to something, even if it is the smallest thing. It is important that we just keep going, keep helping, keep being aware, because not just even past the ceasefire, even past the ceasefire, even like with us as human, because that's the true power. The humanity, nature, human and nature, that powers everything, and that is the greatest power, more than
Yeah.
any sort of governmental power that seeks to stop it, because it will be inevitable that they will be stopped. And
Yeah.
I think that's kind of all I have, at least on this sheet.
No, you did
That I
great, my
made.
dude. Holy shit, you filled a full 2 hours with incredible facts, great lore. Well, I say lore. With a chock full of history, incredible facts, environmental statistics, and an impressively human element to tie it together. Thank you. Oh my god, this was wonderful. Guys, can we get a huge round
You're
of
welcome.
applause for Aardvark, who absolutely killed it. This is the first time Aardvark has been on stream in quite some time, and they are absolutely killing it. I still got the stream till 3 o'clock. We're still here for another hour and 20. Earth lore, exactly, Earth lore. So I'm happy to just chill, talk, and just talk about anecdotes if you don't mind. Or we can just talk about things that are going on. We don't even have to talk about the Middle East. We can just talk about ourselves if you want. Whatever you feel comfortable doing.
I don't really have a lot. I might I kind of might hop off just to get some like more work done, I guess, I
Oh yes,
suppose.
you
But
have work to do. Please, yes. Oh my gosh,
yeah,
you are.
I'll probably
Thank
like
you.
pop out, but I do I will keep it on in the background because I'll probably keep it, but I do appreciate and thank you, chat, for listening, because it is important that people appreciate it. I do appreciate. Anyway,
Take
I
care. Bye
gotta get back.
bye.
Yeah, yeah.
And of course.